What a one time we were in there, but how killing is here the air about. We know where she lives, but you must not tell anyone, for the lamp of Jack-o'-lantern. It's a candle little house of a month and one windies, down to down, high down to down, and numbered quaintly mine, in such reasonable weather too. No vagrant winds waltz around the Pill Downs, and on every blasted gnarly rock, if you can spot 50, I spot 4 more. There's that gnarly bird you're gathering, a run a little, do a little, pre a little, pour a little, wipe a little, knock a little, sabre a little, eat a little, wine a little, kill a little gnarly bird, a very tableland of bleak-barred fields. Under his 7 Rothschilds lies one lump raw. His glaive beside him scud untorsid. Our pigeons parafloon for north cliffs. The 3 of crows have flapped its southerly cracking of debauchery to the quarters of that sky whence tribute. Well, 'tis well, she never comes out when thorns on shower, or when thorns flash with his Nixie girls, or when thorns blowing tomb cracks down the gales of thorn. No new bow, no nebulous on you live, her would be too moochy a freet of burly Meg that bind me rolling eyes of all the deed in the woe. Before fun, she just does hope still buys, will be buys. Here it goes on to prepare now. She comes a peaceful, a Parody's bird, a Perry-pot mother, a Pringle-picking ill and skipping with Pee-wee and powwows and baggy on her bicky-backy, and a flick-flask, fleck-flinging its pixie-lighting paths. Humor amiibos, picking here, pecking there, pussy, plunder, pussy, but its armatides too nigh. Militables and tumor, we wish for a muddy kissements to the minutia workers. And there's to be a gorge abstruse for happiness to shelter everywhere. Come nibble me and Suso sing the day we celebrate. She's burrowed the couch's headlight, the better to pry. Who goes cute, goes see a cord and shoes around, and all spoiled goods go into her knapsack. Cartridges and rattling buttons, nappy spatties and flasks of all nations, clavicures and scapulars, maps, keys, wood piles of halfpennies, and moonlit brooches with the blood-stained breeks in 'em, Boston night garters and masses of shoe sacks. flies and maggots, ills and elves with lofts of toss and plures of bells, and the last sigh that come fro the heart buckled, and the fairest sin the sun saw, that's kirk with kiss kiss crisscross criss kiss cross unto lives and slain. How beautiful and how true to wife of her, when strangely forbidden to steal our historic presence from the past, past prophetical, so as to will make us all lordy heirs and lady medicines of a pretty night kettle of fruit. She is living in our midst of dead and laughing through all applause for us. Her birth is uncontrollable, with the Neperon for her mask and her sabois kicking areas. So ser so sally if yous ask me, and I sack you. How creeks may rise and truces fall, there being two sights forever a picture. For in the byways of high improvidence, that's what makes life worth leaving, and the world's a cell for sitters to sit in. Let young women run away with the story, and let young men talk smooth behind the butler's back. She knows her night's duty while Untum sleeps. Did you save any tin, says he. Did I what with a grin, says she. And we all like a Meriden, because she is mercenary. Though the length of the land lies under liquidation flute, and there's ne'er a hairbrow nor an eyebush on this glabrous face of hair shoved welter welter. She'll own a Vesta and hire some peat and search the shores her cockles to heat, and she'll do a litter woman can to piff the business on puff to puff the maziness on puff puff. And even if Humpty shall fail Frumpty times as upward again in the bear's blue of all our grand remonstrancers, there'll be eggs for the breakers come to mourn him, sunny side up with care. So true is it that there's wares I turn over, the tay is wet too, and when you think you catch sight of a hind, make sure but you're caught by a hen. Then as she's on her behavior, I job of acquaintance bandy, rooting for firstlings and taking her time. We may take our review of the two mounts to see nothing of the himples here, as had elsewhere by sixes and sevens, like so many Higgins and Colleens. Sit on a root, script breached and some poetry in this wish-a-swish waters, and the taffy-taffy-tights playing Wharton's Folly, and a tree purty on the plank, go in the perk. Stand up, my goes, make straight for manners by order Nicholas Prue. We may we see and hear nothing if we choose of the short-legged Bergens off Cork Hill, or the Bergamores of Aberrill, or the Bergagambos of Summerhill, or the Bergensellies of Misery Hill, or the country bossed Bergens of Constitution Hill. Through every crowd has its several tones, and every trade has its clever mechanics, and each harmonical has a point of its own. Olaf's on the rise, and Devo's on the left, and Citrix places in between them. But all they are all that's scraping along to sneeze out a likelihood that we'll solve and solve safe through bolulous rebus, hopping round this meadow like kippers on a griddle. As he lays dormant from Macroburg of Holdard to the Microburg of Piedepodre, behold this sound of Irish sense. Really? Here English might be seen royally. One sovereign punt to Petery pence. Regally, the silence speaks the scene. Fake. So this is Dublin, hush, caution, Echoland. How charmingly exquisite it reminds you of the outwashed engravure that we used to be blurring on the blotch wall of his encamped house. Used they? I am sure the tiring chapel shoveler with Mujikal chocolate box Mary Mitchell is listening. I say, the remains of the outworn grave muir where used to be buried the tomans of the incubus. Used we? He is only pretending to be strugging a jubilee harp from a second existed listener. Fiery Farelli. It is well known, look for himself and see the old but new WKOO here by the mausoleum wall, fem, with a grand fun for all. Fum, 'tis octophone with octaveins. List, Wheatstone's magic lyre. They will be toddling forever. They will be legioning for a law. They will be pre-tumbling for offer. The harp's discord shall be theirs for a loves. For things, therefore, they are hereditary. Mammalicious in his condoled historium, wrote near Barorium, bluest book in Biley's annals, FT in Disners, ne'er shall fail till the smoke and cloud weed airs ill salpal, and here now they are the fear of Titotides unam adar, Albub and Boss are mounted upon an alderman. I don't nizam Shuanapur old Waban Aho Triumph Tammuz and Auburn mighty of a bride to be dissorted, a dear quadlibus marches fun, up and no weightier nor a pole post, and so, and all so gone. So how idlers win, turning pages on pages, and who sands with the neglected babe, palm by a tick bump, the leaves of the living in the book of the deeds, annals of themselves, timing the cycles of events grand and national, bring fossil wise to pass out. 1132 AD, men like to ants or emmets wandered upon a grove, white wild fisk which lay in a runnel, blubby wears a pot of blootium. 566 AD, on Balfire's night of this year, after deluge a crone that had a wicked kinch, for to holiday tunes from the ball look it under the play of her kinch, as she ran for to speak her curiosity and be muscle, but she found herself so full of swart goody quick and shown and small elegant rose, so rich in sweat blurry works at Merle's silent. 566 AD, at this time it fell out of bronze locked damsel grieved, sabralasolas, because that puppet her minion has, rush fit of her by the ogre, Parapius pious, bloody wars, and Baliaka Kriaka Bali. 1132 AD, two sons at an hour were born until a good man in his leg. These sons called themselves Caddy and Primus, and Primus was a sentryman and drilled off decent people. Caddy went to White House and wrote a piece of farce, bloody words for Dublin, somewhere apparently in the Guinness Gap, where antediluvius and Anna Dominant the copyist must have fled with his scroll. The Billy fled rose and out charmed him for the soul-trip world, right from the exorcist most Empyrean, bolt in some earth spake, or the damn and gallus banked pen the bloody Dubron. A suicide then there is let off under cold coals, with some fine covered by 6 marks and 9 pins in metal men, for the sake of his labor's dross. While it will be on only now and again in arrear or error, as an upshoot of military and civil engagement, same finds some covertly by meddlement with the drawers of his neighbors safe. Now after all that far-fetched and peregrine or dignant or clearer lift, we are our ears, eyes of the darkness from the tome of Liber Lividus, and toe how passably erinical all dimmering dunes and glomering glades self-stretches afore us, our freed lands plain, lean neath stone pine and pastor lies with his crook, Young pricket by pricket's sister nibbleth on return. Viridities made her rocking grasses. The herb trinity shams loneliness. The sky up is of evergrey. Thus too, for donkey's years, since the bouts of Heber and Harryman, the corner flowers have been staying at Ballyman. The dusk rose has choosed out Goatstown's hedges. Tulips have pressed together them by sweet rush. Townland of twined lights, the white thorn and the red thorn have variegated the May valleys of Knockmaroon. And though for rings round them during a chiliad of parrot names, the Formorians have brittled the tooth of the Danes, and the Oxman has been pestered by the firebugs, and the joints have thrown up jerry building to the cabinses, and little on the green is child father to the city, year, and lack tears. These pack ceiling buttonholes have quadrilled across the centuries and whip now waft to us, fresh and made of all smiles as on the eve of Killer. The babblers with the things vain have been confusion, hold them. They were and went, faking thugs were had the ham, song tums where and comely Norgis were, and polyfool fluencies. Men have thought cracks have surrounded. The blonde has saw the maroon, else a kiss without May, mean Carrie Piggy. And the Donker dames have countered with the hellish fellows, whale's tongue, Caudal, the space of Dumble Silly, and they fell upon one another, and themselves they have fallen, and still now are nights and by nights of yore do all bold florists of the field to their chiffon lovers say only, come here I will to thee, and but a little later pluck me whilst I blush. Well may they wilt marry and profusely blush betroth, for that saying is as old as the Howards. Leave a wheel a while in a wheelbarrow, isn't it the true of Untitled yeah? And to have films and flippers that shimmy and shake, Timmy can tempt here, tempting town. Flappity, flippity, fleep pow, hop. In the name of an this car on the cob J and pelted thongs, a Bartholone who the Joe bigger be he, foreshaping his pig-made hogshead shrunk his blood's foot. He hath lactose this short chins, and oh bold that pectoral, his mama muscles most moisturous. Is it slaking Nietzsche on out of something's brain pen? Me seemeth the dragon man, he is almost on the keep Fife by here is Comstipple Saxon, be it Junipery or February, Merricks or Alibril, or the ranting riots of Poirus and Froirus. What a you have sort of a man. It is evident the Mitchin Daddy lets we overstep his fire defenses and these crawls of slit-sucked marek bones. Cave, he can perhaps posturous the pillory way to Hercules pillar. Come on, fool, porter full, hoisured women blown monk's sewer. Excuse us, surely, guy, you taller day dance, and you talkative Scoegian. You spiggity Anglese, you phonio Saxo, clear also, 'tis a jute. Let us swap hats and check a few strong verbs weak, either Yapiazar de bust, the blooty creaks.